It's not about falling down. It's about how fast you can get up after you have fallen down. That's where the magic is.
Discover what it takes to be a world-class entrepreneur.
No success story ever happened without any struggle at the beginning.
And how you can have it all from the greatest minds in business.
Why do you think people give up when business gets tough?
Welcome to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. Here is your host, international award-winning entrepreneur and founder of Woman Entrepreneur, Erna Vassan.
Hi, this is Erna Vassan, and welcome to the Women Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we have Michele Malo, all the way from the USA, on the line. Michele, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Perfect. It's a pleasure to have you. I just want to make sure that I did pronounce your surname right. It's Malo, not Mallow.
No, that's correct. I am Malo. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, see, when you have a conversation with people, you always just want to get their surnames right?
Absolutely. This is part of who we are, a little bit of our personal brand, right?
Exactly. It's very important, right? Okay, so Michele, for those of you who doesn't know who, for those of the people that's listening out there that doesn't know who you are, please tell them, who is Michele Malo?
Oh, Michele Malo is a networker, as a driven entrepreneur and a branding, marketing person who has been doing it for over 20 years. I worked for Fortune 500 companies such as Kellogg's and Kraft and Barilla Pasta, branding those products all across the world. And now what I do is I still work within the hospitality realm, helping restaurateurs and hotels, but I also help small business owners turn their passion into profit so that they can monetize their ideas.
I love it. And when you work with these big brands, what is your favorite part of the whole process and the relationship and all of that?
Actually, working with brands are a lot of fun, especially the established ones. You know, the Oscar Mayers, the Tony the Tigers, with Kellogg's and whatnot. Because what you do is you get a sense of credibility and authenticity that's been built up so many years. So then when I talk to the end user, or I do marketing programs, or I give sales leads, or I help my sales teams out, I don't have to describe my product or prove the quality of it, but instead I get to add value. I get to bring innovation. We get to really bring it to life and make sure that what we're offering is customizable for that consumer, or for that, because again, I was in food service, so hospitality, so it's more of a business to business discussion, but we can really tackle what keeps these folks up at night and solve problems for them. And with these bigger brands, you have a little bit of money to do that. So that's always a lot of fun.
It helps a lot. So when you do work with the client, the direct customer, what is the number one thing that you have to do when you are working with customers that's buying big brands, when you are creating marketing campaigns or content or messaging?
The biggest thing you have to do is listen. Yeah. And really, because a lot of times what they're telling you, they're going to come at you, because a lot of times it's purchasing. So if you're dealing with a purchasing person, it's all price.
Of course.
And I am never going to battle anyone at a price point. Yeah. So when we can actually listen to hear really what we need to solve for, whether it's an operational issue, whether it's something with employees, whether it is they need more traffic, then we're able to get to the heart of what marketing or what products are actually going to fit to make sure that they can sleep at night. And that we have a solution, and I don't just have a product with a price sheet.
Yes. And we just say that working with established, well-known brands are easier than working with new and up-and-coming business owners or up-and-coming brands. That's
a really good question. It's different. because it all depends on where folks are at. I don't know if it's easier. It's just strategically different. And there is something in my heart and in my passion to help some of these smaller business owners, especially build monetizable strategic business plans and infrastructures and teams that are going to help move them forward. And if I need to, I can marry bigger brands, with that and whatnot. But like I said, a lot of times it's very transactional when you're dealing with big company to big company. Like for instance, with Barilla, if you're selling to Maggiano's, which is one of the largest Italian, or Olive Garden, you can that's a different conversation. That's culinary, that's this. But when you're dealing with the small business owner, that's their life and their livelihood. So the conversation gets sometimes a little emotional, and you got to back that up a little bit and prove to them that you can really make sure that their life and they can have the life that they want in the business that's going to really drive what they need.
Yeah. And you have worked in corporate America, and you also have your own business consultation firm. What is the difference working in corporate versus working for yourself, which is a bit, it's different than corporate? And what do you prefer?
Well, I definitely, when you, right now, if you don't want to continue to make your boss rich, that's brilliant. Because in corporate, and I always kind of, how do I put this? Bucked the system a little bit, because I always believed that there was a better way to build things. It's not the way it always was done. You need to continuously look at the systems, the procedures, the trends to see what you can do to solve problems in a different way, to give you a unique selling proposition. Sometimes when you're in corporate, it's so structured and there's so many systems and procedures, it sometimes inhibits that innovation, that disruptive kind of creative vibe that you can do. But when you're an entrepreneur, kind of the sky's the limit. Difference being is now you don't have, again, the teams. You may have some consultants that you work and collaborate with, but you don't have, it's the hardest I've ever worked being an entrepreneur, but it's with the most love and passion because it's something I own and I can create, and I don't have to answer to anyone. I can just be collaborative with my clients and make sure I serve them in the best way possible.
Yeah, of course. And you have created many successful marketing campaigns for big brands, small brands, very established brands. Now, what are the 3 tips that you can give to business owners when they want to start a marketing campaign for their business or their service or a product? Absolutely.
So the first thing I always want to tell folks, especially if you're brand new and you have this idea and you're launching it, the first thing you need to do is you're not going to do any marketing. Because I hear it all the time. Folks want to have a website and they need a brochure and they want to put stuff on social media. I would disagree with that. The first thing I would want every small business owner is to really take a look at and define what you are offering. Can you, in 15 words or less, tell me what you're selling, who you're selling, and what problem it's solving? If you can do that succinctly and clearly, and then also be able to tell me, especially that who part, it's so important. Because a lot of people are like, whoever will buy it. It's like, no, you'll never get anywhere that way. You need to go deep. You need to go vertical so that you can answer. Like, as an example, when I do hospitality, I can go very deep into that target because that's all I'm working on.
Yeah.
But if you go wide, you just are skimming the surface of how you can help people. So you really need to define that. And then once you have that, developing your mission statement and your vision that you can really get behind, communicate, and start developing a little bit of your messaging and your personal branding. And guess what? Now maybe you're ready to take a look at a little bit of marketing. So that's what I'm saying. Don't jump into that because you will recreate that wheel and you will waste money.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if you are working for yourself or you're just starting up a business, you do not have money to waste. You cannot be bleeding cash.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel that the most important thing is when it comes to that is you need to research the market so well and define your audience so well before you even think of producing a product or a service.
Yeah, or a service. And the thing is don't be afraid to go out and talk to people about it.
Of course.
Because in your mind, I mean, because we've all had that, right? Well, we get super excited about something, right?
Of course.
And you're going to go with
ideas, you know?
I know. And you're so, because like I said, for myself, like anyone who asks, is like, I am this driven, like, oh my gosh, let's do this, you know, and that was corporate, that was now. And sometimes, like I said, my mess can be my message. Like I'm telling you from lessons learned. I wish I knew now, you know, then what I know now. Because I was the one who got a little bit overzealous. I wish I had a coach earlier.
Yeah.
I wish I had a mentor earlier that would have reined me in a little bit before I started just kind of throwing money at it. And everyone's like, well, how come? I'm like, I have 2 master's degrees, right?
Yeah.
I've done this for 20 plus years. But yet, when it's your own thing and you get so excited about it, sometimes you don't see the warning signs or you tend to ignore them. So that's why having people in your corner and actually going out and throwing the ideas at people and getting that feedback, testing and retesting is going to be really crucial so that at the end of the year or the end of the quarter, when you look at your cash flow and your P&Ls, you're not panicked and you're not putting your family in a position that's risky.
Yeah. And you touched on, you have business coaches and all of that. What should people look for when they are looking for a business coach?
That's a great question. First and foremost is ask them who their coach is. If they are a business coach and they do not have a coach, run. Because that means that they don't believe in the process and they're not continuously learning either. I question anyone who doesn't always have, who aren't going to conferences, who don't have confidants and multiple mentors who can help them in different disciplines. Mm-hmm. That's the number one thing you need to look for. And the second is, it sounds crazy, but are you able to talk to them? Do you trust them? Can you have, because, you know, a lot of my coaches, you got to take some tough love. I mean, they need to be hard on you, but you also need to have a respect for them that you trust that what they're saying is going to lead you into the right direction.
Yeah.
And if possible, look for coaches that also have a little bit of an expertise in that niche and that target, and also in the business modeling that you're looking to do that you are lacking. Because it's kind of like, at least in the United States,
yeah,
you know, we look at the politics and all that, which I know is kind of crazy right now for everyone around the world. but how it's supposed to work is that, you know, we have all these different things that fills the hole. So if our leader or, you know, the leaders doesn't have a skill set, you should surround yourself with people who do, so that when you come with it like with the team and all of that, it's that person is a financial person, this person's a creative, you know, all these different things, so that as a whole you're getting everything that you need. And you need to be very humble and be able to admit what you need and ask for it.
Yeah. And if you are a new business owner, you're just starting out as an entrepreneur, and you want a business coach, what are the different price points that you can expect to pay for a business coach? And what do you think is the difference between $1,000 a month business coach versus a $20,000 a month business coach? And do you need a $20,000 business coach a month if you are just starting out?
You know, that's actually a really hard question. And I think it depends. I always say never buy anything that doesn't give you peace. Okay. So in terms of peace of mind, the way I started out doing more of an online course to get myself, it was an online coaching course that I was able to self-direct and all of that. And it was
on your own time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was something I was able to do. And then there got to a point where I knew I was stuck. And then I hooked up with, actually it was a lady out of Ireland, and she got me started. And again, my business model's changed since then, but that was the moment where I go, you know what? I think I definitely need a little bit of direction. I need some accountability. And she was about $5,000. She was a $5,000 coach, and that was about a 6-month program.
Okay.
So,
That's a yeah, that's quite of a big investment. If you're looking at 5,000, that's 5,000 divided by 6 months. That's like $833 a month that you're paying this. And, if you're just starting out, that's
why that was my second. That was why that was my second thing. I did the online first, and then there's also group coaching that a lot of times can be like $197 a month or something a little bit less. But just look at the quality of folks that are in those groups. Who's leading it? What are they going to offer to you? Do they have added value? Is it something that you can reach out to them with questions? Is there accountability groups within that, like books, all of that you want to look for? And then, because so like I said, there's stepping stones. I offer different levels like that too, because there's no way, unless you come for money or you knew you were going to do this, because trust me, I've invested the big dollars.
Yeah.
I got to a place where I knew this is where I need to go. And that's very individual. And that is because I was going to go big or go home. But again, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, I was uncomfortable. But I also believe that it was and it still is, because I'm still working through it. It's an investment in me. I looked at it as as opposed to college or university, I looked at it as that. Because I'm getting more out of it. It's hands-on. It's actually helping me build revenue streams, helping me build passive income. It's helping me understand, where I'm going to actually have the profitability in order to make that work and the ROI to justify that. But you can't be scared. You got to look at what do you need, what are you willing to do, and I'm going to tell you, you'll get there real quick with that, because now you got skin in the game. You start to spend that kind of money.
Of course.
Now you got to make it work.
I know what that is, and I want to talk to you about this. Is the saying that people don't appreciate free things. Now, obviously, that you are an amazing business coach and consultant, and people will ask you questions all the time. Now, what do you say to people that want free advice from you? They expect you to coach them for free or mentor you for free. What do you say to those people? And how do you handle that situation?
Wow, that's a really good question, because I will, again, I'm a very self-aware person, and I want to help everyone. That's part of why I got into this. Like, corporate for me wasn't fulfilling, because I felt like I just wanted to help folks. But the problem is, and I saw this I don't know if this was a magazine article title. I don't know where I saw this, but it said, "My brain is too expensive for coffee." To pick for coffee or whatever, like, the $4.95, or whatever it is across, for a Starbucks, and an hour of my time, you have to rein that in. And I've become very honest about it. I will give everyone, if you're really serious about it, we can talk for a good, hour and we can sit, but I'm not going to give you coaching. I'm going to listen to you. And we're going to start to outline what you may need, and then see what different things are, what avenues that would be good for you in order to get you there. And if I'm the right person, or my online program is, or whatever that is, perfect. But again, I've gotten to a point that and there's certain people that, I just can't help. You're not, I can't add enough value to you. So that's where that's why I have such a good group of people who are coaches. Yeah. I don't see anyone as competition, because if I don't know it, especially if you need real deep financial deep dives in accounting, I'm not your girl.
Exactly.
I'm not your girl. So, but that's why I'm, from a personal, what people know me for is I'm a connector. I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if I don't have time or I can't do it, I will connect you, and I'm actually going to have an online membership site that's going to, because these are people I've already vetted, that you can go on and connect with folks that might be able to help, where it's just coffee or whatnot, but it's not always on me, because I'm just one person, and it started to get to a point where that was all I was doing.
Yeah.
And there's a point you have to take, it's that self-care and that step back and go, okay, now we have to start paying for coaching, or we need to figure out a plan, and I have things that I think you can afford. And you can always ask me a question. Like, I'm not that person, join my networking group. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but but you have to be okay to say I'm worth it, and and charge for your services, because you wouldn't go to your hairdresser and say, oh, could you just give me a quick cut because I want to see how I feel about it.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is that those people that are asking for the free coaching are 50% of the time they are employed by a company, and being employed means you're earning money. Now, why should we share our experience and our advice for free based on the fact that this person needs a mentor? And, you know, and it's really great that they say that, you know, you're such an inspiration and you look up to, and they look up to you and you've done so well and all of that. Absolutely. And it makes you feel so amazing about when you get, you know, messages like that. But you cannot work for free. And I feel that, and this is why I always say that I do not mentor people for free. No. I do not coach people for free, because people don't appreciate it and people don't implement stuff if it's free. You need to have skin in the game. If I'm paying $10,000 for a program for coaching, I will make sure as hell I will get my full $10,000 worth of value, and I will exceed that by implementing the stuff that I need to do.
You know, absolutely. And if you don't mind, a quick story. So I had this gentleman come up to me. I was at a networking meeting. He was an older gentleman, and folks, and that has nothing to do with it, but it does a little bit, I think, on just the paying for things and whatnot. And so, and again, he had my heart, right? Because he was a senior citizen, and he's really trying, and he was a network marketer and trying to make a go at it. And I started to coach him for free. I was trying to help him. But long story short, what ended up happening is he fought me on everything. And I said to him, I'm like, then why are you asking me for help if you're not going to implement, or you're questioning me? I said, well, how many sales have you gotten in the last 2 years? 3. I go, and you have no team members, because if anyone knows how network marketing works, you've got to build business and you've got to build team. Yeah. I said, so for 2 years, you've gotten no team members and you have 3 customers, but yet you're battling me on what I'm telling you to do. Yeah. And he came back and basically told me that I needed more education. And that's where he did. Yeah. And that's where that was the last straw of me getting stuff away for free. Because I walked away from that because I was a little bit hurt because I was trying to help him. Yeah. But B, that was a little bit of a turning point for me in terms of coaching. It's like, okay, you know what? I can help a lot of folks, and I need to help the ones that will appreciate it and are coachable. Yeah.
And you know what? If people are paying top dollar for you, they will respect your advice more than that someone is respecting getting it for free. And here's another reason why I don't do it for free is because when you do something for free and those people don't implement, they will go and tell 100 people, do not get coaching from Erna because it doesn't work. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Exactly. Because social media is the best and the worst thing, right? And you cannot defend, because you were not in the situation, and all you're doing is reading things, and then people who don't know anything about it are chiming in, and
of course
it's horrible. I mean, not to like go into that, but
here's a question. You have worked with top brands like Kellogg's and all of those people. What is your go-to strategy when clients talk rubbish on social media about your brand? How do you respond to that? Do you keep it like, if someone gives you a 1 rating for, oh my gosh, this Kellogg's was just like, it was so bad, or there was something wrong, or whatever, do you guys keep that 1-star rating on the page? Do you delete it? How do you guys handle that?
Yeah, you never delete it because that would be inauthentic, because you're never going to make everybody happy.
Of course.
But the biggest thing we would do is we respond. And we apologize for the way now what they're saying may not be true, but we apologize for the way they feel. And we offer to try to gain knowledge over why they feel that way. Mm-hmm. And to see if we can rectify the situation with either education, or if it's a product that didn't live up to their standards, would they be willing? Can we send them something else? something, because there was something that caused them pain in order for them to go on the website because more people are going to get angry and post versus all the people who are happy who never do.
Of course. You never get great feedback. You only get the bad ones.
Right. And I'll tell you, so we talk about once you start getting yourself out there. So on a personal note, and you'll get people that are just trollers that don't want to see anyone do well. So on my business consulting page, I had a gentleman from a different country. I've never met him before. Literally say that I was an imbecile and I didn't know what I was talking about. And again, I'm a little bit of an emotional. Now I'm a good business person, but I also, everything from me comes from the heart. Okay. So when I saw that, I just looked and like, well, I guess I made it because I had the first person troll me and say they don't like me, who I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So what I went back and did was just simply say, you know what? I appreciate you engaging on my page. I apologize, but we have never worked together. So if you could please substantiate your claims and if I could do anything, because my clients, are my pride and joy and are like my family. So I really understand, why, the harsh words, especially since I don't believe we've ever worked together. So it's always coming from a place of understanding, even though this person's behind, they're just trolling people and going,
Exactly.
But
it brings down your rating. Yeah, it brings that. This happened to us with one of the companies. It's a product-based company that I have. I literally woke up the morning and we had 4 1-star ratings overnight. No explanation. I went into investigate. None of them bought from us.
Right.
They're not clients. And they don't give reasons. And I'm like, we were maintaining a full 5-star rating and then bam, give me 4 1s and we are down to like an average of 3 point something. And I decided to turn off our what do you call it? Star ratings on the page. Yeah. Because I wasn't going to, because when people start shopping for a product, they always check the ratings. They always check on ratings on Facebook, right? So what we did is I turned off Facebook because we told Facebook, we actually went to them and said, hey, listen guys, this is fake. They're not clients. They haven't purchased from us. They didn't even give reasons why this one store. It's just a troll. It's just someone that was bored that evening and thought, let me destroy a few companies tonight. And we were one of them. And they destroy your reputation by doing that and not explaining why.
Right.
If there was if it was someone that really bought my product and said, the delivery came late, or the product sucks, or something was missing, understandable. I would comment back straight away and fix the problem. But if people are trolling to destroy you, I don't have time for that. So we moved our commenting section onto our website where we can verify if these are people that bought from us. Right. And that is how we control our reviews.
Right. I love that. And I will also, for our smaller business owners that are listening too, if you're on, because there's certain services, not just Facebook, that you can, put your services on, whether, because like I'm a public speaker also as an example. So I am on some of these websites. If you get some of those trollers, what I have done then is I reach out to my brand ambassadors, my clients that I know that I've served, and I've asked them, hey, do you mind doing a testimonial for me to bring back up that average? And it's not a lie. These are people that I've serviced and they were happy, and they tote my brand flag everywhere.
Yeah.
So I've done that too, where, I've had 1 or 2 of those come up. And then when you see that the 3 or 4 people are being, jerks, and they've never been your client, and then you see 20 of them, they're all 5 stars, that just credits those others. So that's another tool that our smaller folks can use, especially, I don't know if you guys have Thumbtack internationally, but that's like one of our services here in the US. And especially for folks that do like accounting and, like our handymen or plumbers, a lot of like who have those little like smaller construction companies, that's their livelihood. So that's a good way to combat that. Just go to your people who love you and say, hey, you haven't done a testimonial, would you? And pull that rating up.
Yeah, and I mean, testimonials, and this is another thing for small business owners, is that once you start out, getting clients that is happy with your services, getting testimonials is the way you will do your future sales, because people always look for reasons not to buy from you. And by having a testimonial video is even better, from someone that's happy with your service, that would definitely increase your sales rate.
Absolutely. And don't worry about quality on those. Like everyone's like, oh, I need this and that. No, authenticity is everything. Have someone just take a cell phone. And if you can say, just tell the 3 things that you liked best about the product, the service, whatever it is that you're trying to get across, or whatever they can speak best to.
Yeah.
And just let them go.
Exactly. And we spoke about social media briefly, and I want to get back to that. Is what is your advice as a business consultant for, let's say, for instance, I'm a new entrepreneur, and I want to go into a business consult. I want to start being a business consultant. How do I position my social media to create an authority, and what shouldn't I post on social media to backfire on my brand?
That's an amazing question. One of the first things, especially, is in one of the articles I wrote for your magazine, was that we need to look at personal brand.
Of course, personal branding.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I tell folks is take a peek at your social media. So all platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at. And just go back and just take a look. And if your feeds are full of cat videos and food or negative or political, you need to get rid of that.
Party even.
Yeah, the party images. You got to be careful, because I will tell you, I appreciate. I get a lot of I have a lot of engagement on my social media, so I get requests all the time. And I'm not telling you to be sterile. I want you to still be you, because I will look for, if you're business, and I will look for, I want to see that you have kiddos and that you have family. Do you know what I mean? Because that makes you human. Okay.
Of course.
That makes me understand that you're human too. So I'm not telling you not to post. Now, don't have your profile picture as your kids. That drives me crazy. I'll be honest. Or your dog, unless you're, Jeff, who has Dogtology and he's an author and has, books around that. That's different because that's a brand. But you really just want to make sure that, because people will ask all the time, but it's my personal. I said it is, but right now people look up everything. So when folks go on my social media, or if I show up somewhere, this is the response I get, and this is what you want. What are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then they laugh. They're like, no, seriously, what have you been doing? You're everywhere. How'd you meet Tron Travolta? You were on a stage in front of 2,500 people. Why were you just in Australia? Like, I keep getting, and that's what you want. You want people to be and have your lifestyle, or want to understand and want to know more, because that's what engages them and keeps them looking and keeps you in their secret set, and you keep popping up on their social media. So that's the first thing. But the biggest thing is stay away from negativity. You gotta be, if you're a business owner, you don't want to look like you can be shaken.
Yeah.
You gotta look like it's positive. You've got those motivational quotes. You've got content that is what you will deliver. It's little snippets of what they can expect if they work from you. It's about showing love or things that they can resonate with. It's showing, my Facebook Live with my 91-year-old grandma on her birthday, because it gives you the feels.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's all about balance. You can't just, and this is something that I personally struggle with, because I was taught not to showcase any family relationship stuff, but just business stuff. And I'm like, I did it the entire year, and this year I said, no, I'm gonna have balance. I will be talking about my kids, I'll be talking about my husband, and I'll be talking about my hobbies, and you know what? And it's life needs to be more balanced. It's not just all work. And the thing is, the thing about authenticity is showcasing everything about your life, all different aspects of your life, because your life at home doesn't just revolve on business. So why are you only showing the business stuff?
No, and sometimes even showing a little vulnerability, because I actually had some folks, full disclosure, so been through a divorce just recently, right?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people, don't say that, don't tell anyone. 60% of people in the United States get divorced.
Yeah.
People, don't tell everyone you used to weigh over 300 pounds. Do you know the obesity epidemic in this? It makes me someone you can talk to because I understand.
And you're more relatable, and people feel more comfortable, and your engagement will be so much higher, because I saw with myself, it's like when I was that person who was just posting about business and this and this, and I got this interview and that interview on this stage, traveling over to Australia, traveling over here. People can't relate to that. And then you get more haters. People hate it because they can't maintain what you're maintaining, but yet they don't know you have a real life with kids where you just lie on the couch, eat popcorn, and watch Finding Nemo on a Tuesday night.
That I'm telling you. And now I'm not saying be a broken wing. No. So I did not go on, social media going, woe is me, it's all over my life. I'm because that's not, I'm a unicorn and rainbow kind of girl anyway.
Yeah.
But if you can just show that everything is not always
perfect,
it makes you real, and it makes people can then talk to you, or they say, she'll understand me. Because she's a business owner, she's been through this. Self-care, like all this kind of stuff is things that she struggled with and have overcome, or always will struggle with. Because, for example, the weight thing with me, being, I've battled my weight my whole life.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But it's always being able to come back to it. So showing folks that it's okay, that life is always going to have this, business is always going to have this. That's why you have to have the right coaches and people in your life engaged in what you're doing, so that when you do get to that where you feel like you're on the ledge, you have someone that can either jump off with you, right?
Yeah.
Or can back you away and say, you know what, this too shall pass.
Exactly. And everything that you go through is just a phase. Everything that you go through is just a phase. And I'm on my last question for you today, Michelle. And tell me, what is the very last business tip that you can give entrepreneurs if you had one piece of advice, like your last piece of advice that you could ever give to anyone in this world, what would that be?
Believe you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that sounds like, I can go into all kinds of building infrastructures and technical things. But when it comes down to it, self-confidence and the ability to just go out and get it done is everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because who are you going to buy from? Someone who walks in and is like, hi, my name's Michelle. I'm a coach. Or are you going to walk in and someone say, hi, my name's Michelle, and I can fix your business, turning passion into profits?
Exactly. It's two different things. It's completely two different things.
Right. And if you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone pay you to believe in them?
I totally agree with that. Michelle, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. I know that our listeners will get so much value from this conversation. If people want to get in touch with you after, how can people get in touch with you? Your LinkedIn profiles, email address, and so on.
Yeah. So again, thank you again for having. This was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for having me. Well, you can link in with me. I'm at just LinkedIn at Michele Malo, and that's MICHELE And my website is the same thing. It's www.michelemalo.com. So
easy enough.
Yeah, it's easy. It's a look up. Just remember, it's the 1L Michelle. So
1L.
1L Michelle. And your business accelerator is pretty much Instagram, Facebook, whatnot, if you want to get on my business pages. But I'm happy to answer any questions or whatnot. But and again, you can look for me in what magazine?
The Women Entrepreneur magazine. You can read her article every month. She is our in-house strategy writer on business acceleration. So make sure you grab that copy. And we actually have a super edition for June. Hey, Michelle?
I'm so excited about it. You better believe it.
It is. For the people that's listening, it's huge. It's not 2x. It's not 3x. It's not 5x. It's 10x. And that's what I'll say for now. And if you can't figure it out, then you have to get the magazine. If you can figure it out, then you definitely have to get the magazine.
Absolutely right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. It was wonderful chatting with you, and we'll speak soon.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast, the #1 success platform for female entrepreneurs. Visit our website, womanentrepreneur.co, for your daily motivation and business growth expert advice. Until next time, play big, think big, and impress yourself.